If you have recently found out that your teenage daughter has a boyfriend, before you react, before you scold her, before you take away her phone, I want you to watch this video till the end. Because what you do in the next few days can either bring your daughter closer to you or push her so far away that the next time something serious happens, she won't come to you. And honestly, as a parenting educator, that's what worries me the most. Now, maybe this has already happened in your house. Your daughter's phone was lying on the table, a message popped up, and you happened to see it. You were not checking her phone, but in that one moment, your heart sank. My daughter has a boyfriend? Within seconds, your mind was filled with questions. She's only in class 9. What about her studies? Who is this boy? Where did we go wrong? What if people find out? And your first instinct was probably to walk into her room and ask, "Ye sab kya chal raha hai?" Can I request you to do just one thing? Don't react immediately. Give yourself some time. Take a pause because this moment is much bigger than finding out that your daughter likes someone. This moment is deciding what kind of relationship the two of you will have over the next 5 or 10 years. Now, before we talk about what you should do, let's understand what's actually happening. See, at the age of 13 or 14 or 15, children naturally start noticing the opposite gender. Their hormones are changing, their emotions are changing, and attraction becomes a very normal part of growing up. This doesn't mean your daughter has become irresponsible, and it certainly doesn't mean you have failed as a parent. It simply means she is entering new phase of life. The feelings are natural. What she needs now is your guidance, not your fear. Many parents tell me, ऐसे तो हमारे घर में कभी नहीं हुआ. But the truth is, attraction doesn't choose families. It happens in strict homes, it happens in liberal homes, religious homes, everywhere. The difference isn't whose child falls in love. The difference is whose child feels safe enough to tell their parent. Some teenagers share everything with their parents, while others hide everything. And most of the time, they hide not because they are bad children, but because they're afraid of how their parents will react. There's one more thing I want you to remember. A relationship in class 9 or class 10 is usually not about finding a life partner. It's often a teenager's first experience of liking someone. They're learning about emotions, friendships, respect, boundaries, and sometimes even heartbreak. Most of these first relationships don't last forever, but something else stays with the child for life, the memory of how their parents behaved during that phase. Years later, she may not even remember that boy, but she will always remember whether she felt understood or judged, accepted or rejected, safe or scared. So let me ask you one question. What is actually more dangerous? Your daughter liking someone or your daughter hiding everything from you? For me, the second one is far more dangerous because when children stop talking to their parents, they stop taking advice. They simply start taking it from the friends of their own age or from the internet. And if one day someone pressures her, asks her for inappropriate pictures, threatens her, or manipulates her, will she come to you? If she is scared of your reaction, she probably won't. That's the real risk we need to prevent. I always tell parents that your daughter doesn't need a perfect mother or a perfect father. She needs a safe parent, a parent she can come to even after making a mistake. Because when home feels safe, children don't have to face the world alone. They know they have someone to turn to, and that is exactly the relationship we want to build. So now let's talk about the three biggest mistakes parents make immediately after finding out that their daughter has a boyfriend, because sometimes one emotional reaction can damage years of trust. Now let's talk about what not to do, because many parents don't damage the relationship because their daughter has a boyfriend, they damage it because of how they react in those first few hours. The first mistake parents make is going and talking to their daughter immediately. At that moment, you are not calm, you are shocked, scared, or maybe even angry. And when emotions are high, we often say things we don't really mean. Later, we regret those words, but by then, the damage has already been done. So don't rush into the conversation. Give yourself a little time. Sleep over it if needed. Have the conversation the next day when you are calm, because your daughter will remember your reaction much longer than your words. The second mistake is starting the conversation with "I saw your messages." The moment you say that, the focus shifts from her relationship to her privacy. Instead of talking openly, she'll start defending herself. Whether you saw the messages accidentally or intentionally is not the biggest issue right now. The bigger priority is making sure she still feels safe enough to talk to you. The third mistake is using shame to control your child. Saying things like लोग क्या कहेंगे, हमने तुम्हें ये सिखाने के लिए भेजा है, तुमने हमारा ट्रस्ट तोड़ दिया, स्कूल तुम इसलिए जाती हो. These words don't stop a teenager from having feelings. They only teach her to hide those feelings from you. And once children start hiding, they stop coming to you when they actually need help. So remember, your goal is not to end the relationship in one conversation. Your goal is to keep your relationship with your daughter strong, because when the relationship stays strong, she will keep coming back to you even when life gets difficult. Now let's talk about what you should actually say to your daughter. First of all, don't choose a moment when she's already upset or defensive. Don't call her into a room like she has done something wrong, a big crime. Choose a calm moment, maybe while you're going for a walk together, driving somewhere, or helping each other in the kitchen. Sometimes difficult conversations becomes much easy when you're sitting side to side instead of face to face. You can start by saying, Beta, I just learned that there's someone you like. And believe me, I'm not here to get angry at you or shout at you. Yes, I'm worried. That's natural because I'm your mother. I worry about your studies, your future, your safety. But more than anything else, Bacha, I don't want you to feel that you have to hide such an important part of your life from me. Then pause for a few seconds. Let her process what you have said. She will probably be surprised because she was expecting a completely different reaction. After that, gently ask, can you tell me about him? What do you like about him? And then just listen. Don't interrupt, don't correct her, don't start giving advice immediately. Many parents think they have to solve the problem in the very first conversation, but this conversation is not about solving anything, it's about understanding your daughter. It's about making her feel that she can be honest with you without the fear of being judged. Once that trust is built, your guidance will automatically have much more value than her relationship. A day or two later, have another conversation. This time, don't focus on the relationship, focus on safety. You can say, Bacha, whether it's this friendship or any relationship you have in the future, I want you to remember few things. If anyone ever asks you for your personal photos or videos or asks you to do something that makes you uncomfortable, that's not love. Someone who truly respects you will never pressure you. Then make one promise that I believe every teenager deserves to hear from their parents. And as parents, we often miss it. If anyone ever threatens you, blackmails you, pressures you, or makes you feel scared, I want you to come to me first. I promise you, as a mother, as a father, I won't start by shouting at you. We'll solve the problem first, we'll figure it out together, and then we'll talk about everything else. Parents, this one promise can make a huge difference. Children come for help only when they believe they'll be helped before they are judged. You can also remind her gently, your studies and your dreams are still important, bacha. You need to learn how to balance your emotions with your responsibilities as growing up. Now, what if you are genuinely uncomfortable with this relationship? Maybe you feel she's too young. Maybe you have noticed something about the boy that worries you. Maybe you feel it's affecting her studies. You don't have to pretend that you are okay with it, but you also don't have to attack your daughter. You can simply say, Beta, I want to be honest with you. Right now, I'm not comfortable with this relationship of yours and I want to share my concern with you. I'm not saying this because I want to control you, bacha. I'm saying this because I love you and I want best for you. Then explain your concern calmly. Talk about the behavior or the situation. Don't label your daughter. Don't insult the boy. Don't make her feel like she is a bad child for having feelings. And before you end the conversation, remind her of one thing again. Whether we agree or disagree today, one thing will never change, Bacha. I am always on your side. If tomorrow you feel you made a mistake, I will be here for you. And if my understanding turns out to be wrong, I'll happily accept that too. I never want you to feel that you have to deal with any problem alone. Remember, parents, your goal isn't to make your daughter agree with you in one conversation. Your goal is to keep the relationship strong enough that she continues to come back to you whenever life becomes confusing. Now, at this point, many parents ask me, okay, Achal, tell me one thing clearly. Should I allow my teenage daughter to have a boyfriend? As a parenting educator, my answer is this? I don't think this is the right question. The better question is, how do I guide my child through these feelings? See, parents, because effect attraction at this age is biology. You can't switch it off by saying from today you're not allowed to have a boyfriend or you're not allowed to like anyone. At the same time, I'm not saying you should simply tell your child do whatever you want. No, your role as a parent is neither to control nor to give complete freedom. Your role is to guide. Keep talking to your child. Help her understand what respect looks like, what healthy boundaries look like, what kind of relationship is not good for her. Your guidance will help her make better decisions not just today but throughout her life. And remember, many teenage relationships don't last very long. As children grow emotionally, they often realize on their own whether a relationship is right for them or not. Your calm guidance helps them reach that understanding. Fear and pressure rarely do. And if one day that relationship ends, please do not say, मैंने पहले ही कहा था. These words may be true, but they won't help your child heal. At that moment, she doesn't need a lecture. She needs her parent, a warm hug. Sit beside her, let her cry if she wants to, make her favorite meal, give her a hug if she's comfortable with it, and simply say, I know this hurt, bacha, I am here for you. Years later, she may not even remember every piece of advice you gave her, the boy, but she will always remember who stood by her when her heart was hurting. Before I end, I want you to think about something. When you were a teenager, maybe you also liked someone. Maybe you never had the courage to tell your parents because you already knew how they would react. How did that make you feel? Today, you have the opportunity to become the parent many of us wished we had. A parent your child doesn't have to hide from. You may not be able to stop your daughter from falling in love, but you can make sure that whenever life becomes confusing, whenever she makes a mistake, or whenever she needs guidance, the first person she comes to, the first person she the first person she wants to come to is you, because parenting is not about raising a child who never makes mistake. It's about raising a child who knows no matter what happens, I can always go back to my parents. If this video helped you, please share it with another parent. These conversations every family needs to have, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you found out today that your teenage daughter has a boyfriend, what would be your first reaction? Let's learn from each other without judging each other. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Parenting with Archil, because every week I share practical parenting strategies to help you build a relationship with your child that lasts long after childhood is over. I'll see you in the next video.